twist from that. So getting down now, you can see they're on a long run now into the top mark. Prada well ahead. Its lead now is some 68 metres. That's very close to 3 boat lengths. Good work by Prada.
Well, I can't help thinking well ahead, as Liam puts it. Well, in the context of this race, I suppose that's huge. But I guess the key thing America 1 have got to watch out for here, Chris, is they don't get pushed too far outside the ley line.
Well, that's very true. What we've actually got here, we're right behind both boats. It's getting patchy as we get up near the top mark, and there are puffs coming down. We're right behind them, and America 1 is actually being lifted up. Prada, to me, is quite quiet at the moment. I'm surprised Prada haven't come back on top of them.
We want to get as much height. It's going to go back left up here. The pressure is feeling on it by.
And just following up the point Liam made, there is a huge spectator fleet.
Just getting a little wind first, Paul.
On both sides of the course.
Big shift to the right at the moment. We've got something like 237. I actually saw 240.
But if they're outside the ley line, Chris, well, that can favour America 1, of course. They can drop their bow down a little bit to close it up, can't they?
They can.
Real shifty up here.
But Prada, I've got a good gain here on this beat.
And John Kostecki just reinforcing the point you made, it's getting a little shifty up here. We are in the very, very privileged position on being on the bridge here on North Star, and we can see it's quite patchy as they're coming up out of Browns Bay area, Maorangi Bay.
There's the mark there, that's a good shot. So Prada are over that ley line.
So the mark straight ahead of Prada, which is the yacht out to the left, America 1 out to the right, and all the way down there's a boulevard of boats out to the right and to the left. But what Chris was talking about was the wash coming off the boats out to the right, and Chris was speculating ahead about what we're hearing coming off the boats and the direction they're going to go, which they'll come back into this. So the spectator boats all around.
Big gain here to Prada all the time.
45.
Big vessels here.
Now all that wake is going to stay there, so when they go round the top mark, they're going to hit those seas. So an early jibe wouldn't be stupid to get away from the seas. The trouble is the breeze is clocking right all the time, which means they want to stay on port jibe out of the mark.
And that was the point that you said they'll go into those seas that are coming off that. So it's catch-22, isn't it? If it's going right, you want to go port jibe, but then you're going to be smashed back into some of those big seas.
We're not going to be... We may want to... may have to deal with it 3 later.
That noise is easing sheets as they bear away a little bit from the wind. The sheets moving on the drum.
Looks like a header. Right to grind.
See the puffs of wind on the water there. Very good shot. You can actually see the dark patches. Prada in a big header there. See that? Big header. Wind has suddenly shifted for Prada.
Unbelievable. This is high. This is drama. Real drama here on the... Is that a helicopter? What on earth would create that?
No, I just think that's wind coming over. Good pressure coming over the cliff, going down, spreading out on the water here.
It looks so localized, though.
That's right.
We
actually saw it on the monitor there as it got to Prada.
Well, there's nothing else there around it now. They're sailing quite securely, but Prada is not laying the mark, and I don't think America 1 is either. Prada is... They're saying on board Prada they're going to use the race 1. Chris can talk about that once we get round the mark. Let's get round the mark first, though, Chris. That was crazy, that breeze.
There's only 2 helicopters, so I don't think it's the helicopters. 3 helicopters.
It looked like a helicopter drown draft. It can't have been.
Okay,
so here goes. They're laying the mark okay now. So here it is. Mark 1, race 9, the decider. Where so much hangs on this. Win this race and you're the 30th challenger for the America's Cup. Prada around the mark, going through the set now. Still coming up, America 1. 20 seconds and still counting. So here comes the tack for America 1. Curtis Blewett, Rolf Stites on the bow. 30 seconds and still counting. It stops at 34. America 1 trailing Prada after the first beat to windward by 34 seconds.
As they come away, it's a question of the puffs. Now I had a flick left of the wind. America 1 first to jibe here.
And on board the Italian boat, they are saying, stand by, there are some very good puffs coming. We're getting 17.7, 17.9, again from 220.
Key time here. Prada are not going to go with America 1 for some reason. Don't really trust our instruments to call it because we're turning here.
Why wouldn't you stay between your man and the hoop?
Exactly.
I know you can go out to the port lay line. I know you can come back on starboard. You told us all that yesterday, Chris.
Here goes
they are driving. Here they are. So here comes Prada coming back. Good jibe.
Was a good jibe. They've got a good game here. Good lead. 30 seconds.
So into leg number 2 of this 9th and final decider. Luna Rossa ITA 45 leading America 1 as they head to a huge armada of spectator craft 3 nautical miles away, set against the silhouette of the end of the Coromandel Peninsula.
Once again, we've got a fascinating race in progress. Race 9, the last race of the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals. Prada holds the edge at the moment. The winner takes on Team New Zealand for the America's Cup. So much at stake today.
Prada out to a nice position at the moment, certainly defending their lead, even though America 1 has made a slight gain since the mark. Prada looking strong at this point. Now, the one thing that's difficult to tell here is what's going to happen as we get down the leg. Will the breeze die a little bit? If so, that will advantage the trailing boat. Will it build a little bit, and from where? Each of the tacticians has got to be turned around looking aft right now, trying to see what's coming so they can pick their spots to jibe and accelerate the boat as best possible.
Jibe on America 1. Now coming back over towards Prada. Prada looks to have made a little bit of a gain. Good pressure. We can see the spinnaker well trimmed. Plenty of vent in the back end of it. Rig a long way forward over the bow. The top of the masts a long way forward. Utilising, getting plenty of horsepower out of the setup.
Under spinnaker, heading to mark number 2 on this first off-wind leg. Prada to the left, America 1 to the right.
PJ, I think America 1 will make a good gain here. They double jibed earlier on in that leg. You can see there the gaps. Well, it's still 6
gained 30 metres. Yep. So they were 7.
Yeah.
The important thing that Prada tried to do is make sure they got clear air all the way down this run, aren't they? They're jibing out of it just to make sure that they don't get the distilled airflow from America 1.
They look good right now, I have to say.
Nice puff. 10th over.
They're talking about a puff, though. Both boats are talking about puffs.
See, this is where Prada are risking it. With a lead boat like this, why afford the split?
They're on opposite jibes at the moment. You really would think Prada would want to come back, stay between their man and the hoop. You can see there they are, opposite jibes. And America One are closing the game up, are they? Down to 144.
Okay, Prada are going across to cover that now. America One going right on the ley line that agrees with our animation.
And America One also have jibe back.
So America One jibed on the ley line. Prada coming across to cover it. Overall net gain, I'm guessing, to America One as the breeze increases.
Translation coming off Luna Rossa is go now, go now. Being very careful on the foredeck not to trawl. Get it all in safely. Get that headsail in. Mark 2 to complete the first off-wind leg. Luna Rossa for the Prada Challenge of the Puntarala Yacht Club in Italy is leading in this winner-take-all race as the Spinnaker comes down on America One out of the St. Francis Yacht Club in San Francisco. America One trailed by 54 seconds at the last mark. As Paul Card brings the wheel down, America One clicks off at 39 seconds. So Prada have made a gain of 5 seconds. And aboard Prada, they're saying, come on, come on, maximum concentration.
Prada happy just to go boat for boat with America One. Boats now on port tack, heading out towards the starboard ley line. Prada have just made enough of a gain downwind to look a little more comfortable. Their style upwind's interesting. Once they get a little bit of leverage, a little bit of a gain, they just allow the bow to rotate, in this instance, just slightly to the right and let the numbers roll up. They tend to put the boat in a slightly lower mode, high speed, lower mode. We heard Kayard yesterday talk about the Prada just managing to edge forward with good boat speed. I think when she's in that fast mode, she has just a slightly better rate of gain over America One.
Table for 30.
Peter, we heard that call on Prada for, give me a little main ease, give me a little main ease. It's hard to steer the boat when you get everything trimmed in so tight. And these guys have spent so much time steering these boats in all conditions that they're able to look and feel how the boat is going. Even though they've got the numbers saying this is how fast you're going and so forth, that critical feel, just like you would have in a P-class or a laser of how you're going through the waves, it dictates a lot of how the boat is handled. And Francesco just calling for a little bit help on the sails. Right now we see that distance has gained back to America One a little bit, and that's because the wind shifted slightly back left. We'll see that distance come and go by 10 or 15 meters every time they get a 5-degree shift.
Yes.
Paul Kayard talking, urging, asking for a bit more. Is there going to be some luck America's one way in this race, or is it going to be all Prada's? The final race live on One World of Sport.
Close to them, but unfortunately we're out of bed.
Serious problems aboard America One. We've got a port winch trailing Prada. This is just what they don't need.
Yeah, I mean, they must have locked out there completely. The only thing they could possibly do is tack on the on the runner winch, but that's real scary because you imagine tacking the boat, delaying it in the tack. So they've actually got the top of the drum right off there. It's in his hand. Could have broken the cog, they could have done anything.
They can't tack at the moment.
Still a big lift.
So that's good that for America 1, they are on the port tack and they're getting a big lift.
They're lucky, actually, that they're slightly off the hip of Prada, so they're actually in slightly clean air. They're not being affected, I wouldn't have thought. Trying to hang in there. Where's the drum now? It's still off the base, look.
But they're going to have to tack at some stage.
They are. There's still, I would say, 4 minutes, 5 minutes to the lay. Wow, talk about things going wrong.
Thunder? Alrighty up there. Okay.
Well, it's a little unclear what exactly has gone wrong here with that port winch, but we can see them frantically working on it. The backup winch to this, the port hand winch, the primary winch, will be one of the winches in the pit just after the mast. There will be a winch there that will enable Paul Kayard still to tack. We had several problems like this with Tag Heuer. Could be that winch there, that's the loaded winch. Maybe that's the one they'll use. But certainly in San Diego in '95, we had similar winch problems. Very frustrating. They will run the rope to that other winch in the pit from the sheet.
We'll be tacking in that.
That'll be something to look for when...
We're going to have to tack at 30 or less.
Breeze is heading as we look. Prada being headed here. And I would think when Prada go, America 1 will want to go underneath them.
Not yet. Wait till we get into the fill. It's not coming for it.
What a fabulous view the folks of Browns Bay and Mairangi Bay and Rossa Bay are getting.
You know,
this the natural grandstand, beautiful.
Oh, they've taken it off the drum there, PJ, so I think they've got the other one back on. That yellow and black line was the jib sheet. So the other one's going back on. They're playing with it.
Probably go here.
They can't go yet. They haven't got any winch.
6 what? 6 screws and then he's going to have that winch.
It's going back on now, look. Bolting it down. Still got the jib sheet loaded on the pit winch.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Tucking in here a little bit. Yeah. We have to go.
We're getting out towards the right-hand ley line. Okay, now they feel they can tack.
You can turn it, the drum is not on, and no problem. No problem. Tacking onto the switch. Move, I need rounds,
I think it's better.
They're still bolting it down as they go in for the tack here.
Go ahead.
They're loading it. Now, if it locks out, we'll see a bad tack, obviously. Jib's full, has to let go.
Keep coming, keep coming.
They're winding on.
It's more wrapped anyway.
How about that for coolness under pressure, changing drum?
Keep trimming, keep trimming.
Well, they were lucky because when Prada tacked and they wanted to tack across there, Prada tacking on top of them, but...
You know, with the benefit of hindsight, I think off the start line, when they were down to leeward and Prada to windward, there was a point where Prada couldn't have crossed.
Yeah.
And I think on port, just out of the start, maybe there was a situation when you go back at Prada, force Prada about and then break right, and all the time coming from the right, as opposed to what they did do, which was drag race all the way to the right-hand ley line and be down at the top mark 25-30 seconds or more.
What will be the presentation of the Louis Vuitton Cup? Coming to the halfway mark, it is Prada out to the left.
I hear you, Lex.
America 1 to the right.
The lead from last time, pretty similar, huh?
Last time, Prada led by 35 seconds.
Fight for the next 30 minutes.
Prada are quite close to this, so they'll tack and set pretty quickly. It's not quite a tack, well, it is a tack set. Whereas America 1 will be able to tack, get sorted out, have a run in it, and might come back round a bit quicker. Here, Prada now.
Mark 3, halfway through this race 9, the final of the Louis Vuitton Cup. This is the final of the final. And Prada still with a handy advantage. They lead by 35 at Mark 2. The voices coming off Prada are go, 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 quick, quick, quick. Nice set.
Yeah, it was a nice set. You see how as it hits the top, they pull back the brace and the chute just floats out beautifully. Book.
All around spectator craft, shouting, hoolering, hollering, big armada of spectator fleet. You'd think you're at a football game here on the Hauraki Golf Maritime Stadium. It's a loss to America 1 as Paul Kay and his team click off at the halfway at 47 seconds. Prada leading as they go into leg number 4, the second off Windley.
Best set they've done for a while. That was lovely. It's not quite to the top, but it was still a great set.
There is a little bit of a repair in the middle of the sail there, but maybe it is new. There is a sail limitation, I think up to the stage end, what is it, 45?
That's right. The challengers as a group in October started with the allowance of 30 sails through the semifinals, and then they went up to 45 now through the finals. And after the Cup, they've been allowed to use a total of 60 sails, but that includes everything: spinnakers, asymmetric downwind sails, jibs, mainsails. So it's actually a very tight tolerance. You don't get a lot of extra gear there, and if you tear something up, you usually have to put it back together, at least for a little bit of the racing.
Ayard has to keep the pressure on.
It says we're on the lay line.
Lots of things can still happen. Reliability has been a factor with both of these boats.
I think we should go.
Jibing, setting up for a jibe. A little bit of hesitation there. This race reminds me of race 7, where the course was in a similar location towards the North Shore. And in that race, we saw America 1 just maintain her lead with ease. And that's what I'm seeing today, that Prada is just sailing a very balanced and a very match racing correct race. There are not too many potholes out there that Prada should fall into.
There's about 6 minutes to go before the bottom mark. As you can see from looking at what we call the snail trails, for most of the leg, the action has been down the centre. One great long drag race as they come very, very close to the ley line. Now, of course, the job for Paul Kay is to try to get closer to Prada, but unfortunately, if we put the wind shadow on there, you can see that Prada is absolutely immune to that wind shadow from America 1. Now, the distance, it was some 260-odd metres at the top mark, 244, maybe a boat length, give and take the breeze, but really no great gain to America 1.
Yes. Yes. I think we can sucker him into that.
Well, Kostecki's still thinking about how he can catch up, how he can gain on Prada. Prada knows they've got a comfortable lead. Let's put this into perspective just so you understand at home. Now, the difference in boat speed for the rest of the race would have to be something in the neighborhood of a 1/10 of a knot advantage to America 1 in order for them to catch up to and pass the leader, Prada, at this point. So that's not happening out there. I mean, that's the difference in boat speeds out there between the best of the challengers and the worst of the challengers. These two, as you've seen over and over again, are locked at the same speed around the race course. So America 1 has to look for other options. They've got to play wind shifts and puffs. Each time they go upwind, Prada has the advantage because they get to choose the time that they tack and throw a wind shadow aft on America 1. Each time they go downwind, America 1 has a little bit of an edge.
If I drop here on Prada, it'll be really safe. Call going forward now. Stand by, shoot down.
Dobbiamo virare prima che lui giri la boa. Canta. Ragazzi, è più stretto ancora. Un po' giardino per la mainata. C'è il tacone però, no?
So there's the foredeck now of Curtis Blewett and Ralph Stites, Billy Bates. Boy, a big brake crusher was badly injured earlier on. Watching this will be just feeling a little sad and concerned with just 2 legs to go now, as his friends and crewmates are training.
Yeah, plenty of aqua falls there.
So the word coming off, the translation is, get the spinnaker out of the water. The spinnaker is still in the water, and the come on, the afterguard are really tuning up the foredeck. And you can understand why. Meanwhile, Francisco de Angelis is cool now. Beautiful sailing breeze, 17 knots, coming from southwest, and around mark number 4 to go in to the 3rd and final beat to windward, the second last leg of the race. Prada with a good lead over America 1. As it clicks off, over 20 seconds is still clicking. Remember, Prada led by 47 seconds as the spinnaker is being dropped. The foredeck of America 1 working very, very hard. So it's America 1 coming around the mark. They trailed by 47. They have lost time. It clicks over at 50. It stops at 52. America 1 trails Prada. Going into leg number 5, the 3rd beat to windward.
America 1 trying to stay alive here, taking it to Prada by tacking a few times, making Prada decide which way to go. Prada so far has been defending the right. Here they go tacking again. They'll keep pushing America 1 away from the stronger right-hand ship up on the right-hand side of the racetrack that they're aiming for right now. Watch for America 1 to sail here for about 3 boat lengths and then tack back once they start to feel the turbulent, confused wind off of Prada's sails.
America 1 tacking. Clear, her wind from the turbulence coming off the back of Prada. I'd expect to see Prada just to extend a little and then come back, just to keep in phase, just to keep in the same waltz as America 1.
So Gary Jobson, welcome again, Gary. What have you been telling the American audience now? Are you a bit down on the mouth, or it's just a matter of hanging in here?
Well, John, it's a tough day for America 1, at least so far. Keep in mind the race is not over yet. But I think Prada did a little bit better job at the start, has been going faster, did not have that problem with the winch, which America 1 did. And so far it looks to me like Prada's the superior team in both.
It really has been a tremendous effort from Prada, hasn't it, when they appeared to be down and out and suffering psychologically a couple of days ago, to get up and win yesterday, to level it at 4-all and then re-enter another pressure cooker situation today and handle it so well.
Well, John, I go back with Prada in the semi-final races. They were almost out of it at one point before Stars and Stripes had the problem with the rudder. They had 2 penalty turns against them against the French boat. The French boat very fast downwind, and they simply found a way to win and come back. So I think that psychological damage that might have been done and the way they overcame that problem they had at that time has helped them out here a lot when they dug themselves a hole down 4-3.
Well, Gary, if things carry on the way they are, we'll see for the first time in America's Cup history an America's Cup series without an American boat there. So what effect would that have on the sport in America and I suppose the America's Cup in general?
Well, I think you're exactly right. We won't have an American boat in the finals if this continues on. and I think there'll be a lot of disappointment. And there's two ways to look at it. One, a big setback, everybody licks their wounds and goes home and says, we're not playing this game. Or I think you'll see a couple teams say, hey, wait a minute, we're not going to get beaten at a game that we've dominated so hard. We'll come back even stronger. The one thing for the United States, in my book, is not to have five teams and everybody diminish each other's value. Instead, try and do maybe 2 good efforts instead of 5, and we'd be a lot stronger that way.
Right across Italy, the ratings are sky high, and they'll be following Paolo Bassani and that outstanding four-deck crew, Vittorio Vittoni. Really, they've stayed with the same crews as well, Max Gali, Romeo Ranalli. They've really all been very much a similar crew. Michele Valdez, with the fellow been going sky high. They're all Italian nationals, except for Torben Grail, who comes from Rio de Janeiro. And this broadcast going live across Brazil on ESPN International, and Torben has been getting a huge number of calls out of Rio de Janeiro papers. Great following there in Brazil, the home and passion of soccer. The change on the American crew has been that Ralph Stites has taken over from Greg Prussia. Curtis Blewett is actually right up on the bow. Billy Bates is from Australia, working on the sewer. Sailed in 3 America's Cups for Australia. Phil Trent is the big, hulking fellow we often see grinding. Former outstanding football player. David McClintock, Moose McClintock's the Ford Devil, who got his thumb caught in the winch, and he told his mates to keep on grinding. Carter Perrin is the voice we're hearing right at the moment. 2 New Zealanders on board this. Gavin Brady, who comes from Timaru, which explodes the myth you have to come from a big smoke to make it in the big time. And Sean Clarkson, who sailed for New Zealand in the last Olympics, sailed in 2 America's Cups and 2 Whitbreads before this. And Sean Clarkson and Gavin Brady have been vital to the performance of America 1 to get here, to take it to a final in the final in this 9th and final race of sudden death.
America 1 in all sorts of trouble here. I mean, they've cut their options down by going out to the left-hand ley line. It's now follow my leader, and there's absolutely nothing they can do here. So they're going to round the bottom mark, the top mark here, 250 odd meters behind. And with the breeze as it is, well, I'd say a bearaway set to Spinnaker early jibe would be the safe option.
Me lo prendo a salire, Pietro, me lo prendo a salire. Va bene, me lo prendo a salire. Okay, torna.
So on board, they're talking about, have we gone below the ley line?
Yeah, I think we've just had a swing in the breeze. It flicked right. There's pressure there, and it'll flick back left again. They look to me as though they'll squeeze up and make that. But we're not actually now, we're to leeward of them. We're not behind them, so it's difficult to judge.
Well, this course just right out of Browns Bay, Campbell's Bay, Rothsay Bay area. What a fantastic view out of Mairangi Bay.
Yeah, he's got 10 more left.
Yeah, see Prada just climbing there. Mark is out of the screen to the left. Prada.
Get into the spectator wash. Pretty unstable breeze. Looks like.
What do you think Team New Zealand are feeling? Do you think they like this result, or they would prefer it the other way around?
Well, I think they were pretty relaxed about it, Chris, on the basis that they can't influence it. I think, like most people, they tend to think that Prada had a slight click in certain conditions. Maybe a better all-round.
Righty now up there.
Looks as though you might squeeze round, but a righty would make it bad news. 245, yeah. He might not make this.
But really, I think they're very, very relaxed. I know they would certainly respond to the mental challenge of saying against Paul Card and John Kostecki, because they've done that so often, and it really fires them up.
Imagine if these two teams are combined. The experience of Paul Card in this Louis Vuitton Cup together with Prada, blimey. Anyway, they're not allowed to work together after this, is that right?
No.
They can't combine and help each other, is that right?
That's the protocol.
No, Prada aren't going to lay, so it's got to tack early, I'd suggest. Here they go. Double tack early rather than go to the line and tack set.
So really what you mean by that, Chris, is you're just giving the foredeck a little more time to get the housekeeping set up before doing the spinnaker.
Now they're going to tack here on port, have a run at the mark, be slightly over the lay line. Would not be good news to hit this mark, so expect them to be a good way off this. Fairway set, pole going high, spinnaker.
Well, this hasn't been the backstreet brawl we've seen in other races. Prada getting the nose in front and sailing a very good race. Luna Rossa, ITA 45. Around mark number 5 to complete the third and final beat to windward. They're now in the final leg of the final race of the final and of the series. This is the last leg of 202 races in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Series that started way back on the 18th of October.
202.
202. And will climax here on Waitangi Day, February the 6th, New Zealand's National Day. And still coming up to the mark, America 1, as they tack through to the mark. Now, at the last mark, America 1 were 52 seconds behind.
It's a downhill sleigh ride here for Prada. Can't see anything in the breeze to worry them. 12.5, so it's died a bit. 2:17 gone left a bit, hence the early jive.
Lost time over a minute back. So round the top mark, America 1, 106 behind. Really, the mountain they're climbing now is really vertical, and it's an awful set aboard USA 61.
Thinking about a quick dive.
That is a problem. Finally, it's opening. But Prada did the business so much better. One leg to go.
No wind at all. He's got good pressure.
And Italy will be challenging for the America's Cup.
He's got no wind. Pretty wind. Mark Bear's 50 from here.
As they approached the top mark, they were coming in on the lay line. Now you see here that in fact neither of the boats could make it, so Prada tacked over, gave itself that clearance, and of course America 1, as we speed this graphic up just a little bit, did precisely the same thing, except in their case, I should say America 1, I should say, following Prada around there. The real key to this was they were some 8 to 9 seconds adrift at the top mark, and of course they did such a messy hoist, and there we have it, the distance between them as we catch up to speed now, some 374 meters. That in fact was about 3 boat lengths they lost because they just didn't do a clean hoist at the mark.
A massive lead for Prada. There appears to be nothing that America 1 can do. They have to hope for something to go wrong with Prada, which has been so strong right throughout this race. This is just such a proud moment for the Italians, who were under such extraordinary pressure after leading 3-1 in the series, the best of 9 series, and then seeing that lead evaporate until they trailed 4-3 2 days ago.
The composure is still with the crew on Prada, though. De Angelis has certainly kept any emotions free of the boat. I'm sure that'll change in the next quarter of an hour. But my word, what a great job by Francesco De Angelis, Torben Grail, and the whole team, both on board the boat and ashore. I would love to have been party to the pep talk 2 nights ago when they were in deep. And there must be a big credit go out to Laurent Esquier, Rod Davis, and the rest of the team down there in the Prada compound. Well done, guys. You deserve everything that you're getting.
Pronti?
On board America One, I'm sure Paul Cayard at the end of this, on this race today, will acknowledge that perhaps they've just been outsailed today by the Prada team. To me, Prada, in yesterday's race and today, has shown just a slight superior speed, especially on the upwind legs, and tactically, Torben Grail, he's done a wonderful job.
Of course, Cayard's involvement in America's Cup goes way back, 1983 with Tom Blackaller, and again in 87 on USA, and of course then up to skipper on El Morro, helmsman in 1995 of Young America, numerous world championships. So he's right there among the best in the world. But this man, Francesco De Angelis, and his crew have first of all been the most prominent yacht in the Louis Vuitton series, and then fought back from a desperate situation to prove that they are the best of the challengers on the Hauraki Gulf.
Well, as I said before, I really feel for the loser here. No matter who lost, it's just going to be agony. They have worked so hard for so long, and all the hopes and dreams of the families and friends. But you know, this is a competition. They knew the downside when they went into it. They couldn't have expected to win. And you have to give it to Prada. They have dominated this competition right from the beginning. The only time I think they tripped up, which was in the semi-final, when they broke the rig, and they had another problem. I can't think immediately what it was. I think they lost to Stars and Stripes, and they looked to be struggling, and then, of course, came down to the wire in the end. But they sort of gained strength from that, and they bounced back, and they went out against America One, and they got 3-1 up. And then, of course, you saw that incredible charge of Paul's America One program with this hunger to win, this refusal to lose. And I think Prada have really gained in stature from this tussle. They've been taught how to street fight. Time and time again, America One went in toe-to-toe, and when it got dirty, they came out on top. But then in the last 2 races, yesterday in particular, you saw a new level of aggression, a new style, a non-Italian style, frankly. I mean, Francesco's such a lovely guy, such a polite, honest guy. The whole program is slightly understated. The commercial nature of Prada is not the big logos. There's not even one logo on that spinnaker. It's just Prada. Well done, Prada. And well done, America One. Can't see anything in the breeze to change this result. Started at a wind line of 225. The dial in front of me is saying 223, so there's nothing in that. The wind speed, we got up to 17, 18. Now looking at 14. Short of a rig going over the side, which is just not going to happen. Prada are going to win this deservedly.
Facciamola qua adesso. Questo è strampando, Pronti? Apri.
Prada coming across to cover this. They shouldn't even have let it go that far, frankly. classic move. Yeah, we're well inside the ley lines, both of them. So 231. It's been out in that area for quite a while. So Prada comes across here. The classic move has just crossed their bow line. Jibe in front of them.
A bit of a header here. Looks like maybe a little header.
Coming down the finish, you can see the great armada of boats. Okay, they're going for the jibe, right on the jibe line. You can see that for the future. What we talk about downwind is just jibing in front. So the wind as it comes down from behind, you can streaky on the water there. They get, Prada that is, the same wind as America 1. Imaginary finishing line you've just seen shown on the screen in front of you. Committee boat to the right as you look at the picture, pinned to the left. Here comes Prada. Boy, is this going to be fun to watch.
Non orsare troppo adesso. Arriva il buco subito. Scusa, eccola qua. Scende bene adesso, scende. Velocità c'è, però c'è pressione, c'è. Ecco, andiamo un altro buchetto, di nuovo bella pressione. 40 secondi. Andiamo qua e non scendere.
Well, you think he could show a smile? Hey, PJ, don't you think he could show a smile there? He looks as though he's losing. Matteo doesn't.
Uno ti dà fastidio. Poggia. Là. A 20 entra bella pressione. Lascialo andare, vai. Siamo così bassi noi. Basta scendere. Quanto ci manca? Occhio al terrefolo.
We are coming to the end of the best Challenger Series for the America's Cup. It started in May 1995 when Team New Zealand won the America's Cup to bring the biggest prize in sailing to Auckland. The Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Series started with hopes and dreams on the 18th of October with 11 challengers. Then it was down to 6 on January the 2nd. Then down to these two. America won against Prada. It's been the best final ever across the range of conditions that only the Hauraki Gulf has in its repertoire. It has had drama, emotion, chaos and carnage in the crucible of the Louis Vuitton Cup Final. America won 1-3 down, went back to go to match point 4-3. Prada looked shot. And then Luna Rossa came off the canvas to tie it at 4-all. So it all came down to this final race. The 202nd of the regatta. The prize of one race, the right to challenge for the America's Cup. Luna Rossa wins the final of the Louis Vuitton Cup 2000 to beat America 1 5-4. History on the Hauraki Gulf for the first time in the history of international sport's oldest prize. America will not be in the America's Cup because it's the Prada Challenge for the Puntarala Yacht Club, who are the 30th challenger for the America's Cup. They are the second challenge for Italy to go for international sport's oldest prize. So on February 19, 2000, Team New Zealand will face the Prada Challenge from Italy. Joy and delight for Francisco De Angelis and his team, who pulled off a stunning victory. But let's salute Paul Coward and his crew, who were on match point, but couldn't win the final two races. America 1 finishes 49 seconds astern. Paul Coward has done a brilliant job. It is a hard effort for a sailor to head the whole campaign. to raise the money, to put it all together. And the disappointment of the folks from the St. Francis Yacht Club Challenge will be felt right across the United States.
Okay, the man who will be so disappointed, who had his opportunities, of that there's no doubt during this final, is Paul Kayard, and he's with ESPN's Gary Jobson.
Well, Paul, a tough race, but it looked like he got everything out of the boat.
Yeah, I mean, in the big picture, Gary, we came a long way with this challenge. You know, relative to those guys, I think did our job in half as much time and half as much money, and I'm proud of the team for pulling everything we did out of this. Bruce Nelson and the guys did a great job, you know, with the help of Ford and HP and SAIC, Telcordia, United Technologies, big American companies put a lot of effort into this project, and we were the best American effort. There's probably something to the fact that there were 5 American efforts instead of consolidating all of our energies into 1 or 2 and really putting our best foot forward. And Italy, you know, put up $100 million in 2.5 years to beat us by 1 race. And today in itself was a tough race. We wanted the right real hard, and we got the right, and it didn't work for us on the first beat.
So the key moment today in this historic showdown?
Well, key moment was just the fact it was the long drag race out to the right, and the fact we were waiting for a righty there, which happened on all the other legs, but on the first leg, the wind actually went left.
Are we going to see you back in the America's Cup again, Paul?
Well, I'm smart enough to know never to say never, so I don't, probably, Gary, and I don't know exactly what format. I think the post-analysis is that I had a little too much on my plate also this time, and probably wasn't as good a sailor this time around as I was in 95 and 92, and it's a function of, you know, other responsibilities. And but I like the game, I like the organization. I am very proud of what America One did, and I think if we can unify America a little bit, we'll have a better chance next time.
Well, congratulations.
Well, I think it's a bit like Dennis Conner. If the America's Cup without Dennis Conner wouldn't seem the same, and Paul Kayard's been around for so long, since 1983, so the America's Cup without Paul Kayard, can't imagine it.